Welcome to another edition of the Eye Associates Sight for Life and so much more. I'm Jill Graw, Patient Care Coordinator at the Eye Associates. The Eye Associates specializes in restoring and improving sight. We take great pride in our vast knowledge, educational standards, and quality patient care. I'm proud to say that we've been repeatedly chosen as best ophthalmologists, best optometrists, and best eyewear by our community. Today, we will be talking about the latest in cataract surgery technology, including bladeless laser cataract surgery. I have here with me today three of the most skilled and well-respected board-certified eye surgeons in the area, Dr. Robert Friedman, Dr. Brian Foster, and Dr. Kathleen McCabe. Welcome, doctors. Dr. Friedman, what is a cataract and who gets them?
Well, a cataract is actually a discoloration or clouding of the natural crystalline lens, which is in the eye. And what many people don't realize is that there are actually several different types of cataracts and can cause various symptoms. Pretty much anybody can get a cataract. However, usually we see them in our senior population. They're much more common in our seniors.
Dr. McCabe, what are some of the symptoms a patient might experience as they're developing a cataract?
Some of the first things I hear are either a loss of clarity, where patients are having more difficulty seeing fine details, like reading, or they may have a hobby with fine vision as a requirement, or often they'll notice that they're having problems with glare and halos at night. So driving at night, they may have difficulty seeing the street signs in an unfamiliar neighborhood. And here in Florida, another sign of glare are patients who play golf a lot. So I frequently will have somebody come in and say, you know, I used to love it. I was the guy on my team who could spot where everybody's ball had landed. And it's really frustrating to me now that I have to ask everybody else, where did my ball go?
Yeah, that's important.
Yes.
Dr. Foster, what causes a cataract?
Yep, so the tongue-in-cheek answer is birthday candles, but it is an age-related condition. As we get older, the cataract, that lens, naturally progressively clouds within the eye. Other very common diseases like diabetes can worsen a cataract. Medications like prednisone, steroid can make it worse, and even steroid nasal spray for allergies can cause a cataract. A little known fact is the Apollo astronauts actually developed cataracts much more quickly than they should have otherwise, and it's because they actually went out of the atmosphere and were exposed to some solar radiation. So even more rare things like radiation exposure can do it too.
Very interesting. Dr. Friedman, what can you do about cataracts?
Well, if a cataract is visually impairing and affecting the quality of life, as Dr. McCabe was talking about before, the only thing that you can do now is to have cataract surgery to improve the vision.
Okay. Well, Dr. McCabe, what is bladeless laser cataract surgery and how is it different from traditional surgery?
Well, I think the best way to illustrate that really would be a video that we have to present right now.
In cataract surgery, the cloudy natural lens is removed and replaced with an intraocular lens, an artificial lens that sits in the same location in the eye. In traditional cataract surgery, the incisions into the eye are made with a blade by hand. With bladeless laser cataract surgery, those incisions are made with a very precise geometry, exactly where they need to be. In traditional surgery, astigmatism is corrected with an incision that's made by hand with a blade as accurately as we can do by hand. With the bladeless laser cataract surgery, these incisions have a very, very specific and precise location, depth, and length. In traditional surgery, that access to the membrane and to the cataract is made by hand, where that membrane is peeled around in a circular fashion with an approximate size and centration to that opening. However, we know that the size, circularity, and centration of that opening are very important for what we get as a postoperative result. And the laser is able to do that in a way that's computer guided and more precise than can be done by hand. With traditional cataract surgery, the next step is taking out the cataract, which we do by softening it with an ultrasound. And that's done by slowly and carefully softening the central densest part of the cataract and then removing those individual pieces. With the bladeless laser cataract surgery, those initial cuts are made with the laser so that they are very, very precise, and the energy that's needed then to remove those individual pieces is less, and they can be removed in a more efficient manner overall. We think that the less energy that we expose the eye to, the less stress that puts on the structures inside the eye as well. So we are always looking for ways of minimizing that ultrasound power. Once the cataract is removed, an artificial lens implant is placed inside the capsular bag and sits in the same location where the natural lens sat, and then the cataract surgery is over. And you see better. The next thing I'm going to show is actually a live surgery where the patient lays underneath the femtosecond laser. It looks kind of like this. It's a cool laser. There's no heat. It's very comfortable. This is a patient's actual eye on the left, and you can see that when it couples with the laser, there's a little suction applied. All of our plan has already been mapped out, and that's all the geometric figures that you see there. And the laser is able to snap those individual marks and the planned procedure steps into location automatically in a way that detects all of the structures and tissues and puts those incisions where I'd like them to be. On the right, we see where the front surface of the cataract is going to be treated. This is a geometric or an ultrasound image of the corneum. And here's the procedure itself. So there's that initial opening being made in the capsule, the softening of the lens as that occurs, all very quickly, very precisely, and gently. The patient is not feeling anything at this point. These are those incisions that are made to treat the astigmatism, and then the primary and secondary incisions to get inside the eye. And that's how quick that was. Very precise, very quick, very gentle.
Dr. McCabe, what are the advantages of bladeless laser cataract surgery versus traditional cataract surgery?
Well, you know, one of the things that we really appreciate about the technology is the ability to very precisely image all of the tissues of a patient's eye. And because we can see all of those tissues so acutely and exquisitely, we can place all of the steps of cataract surgery in a way that's more accurate, predictable, and precise than it could be or would be by hand. And so it also enables us to decrease the energy required to remove the cataract. The laser will put energy into the eye and start to soften the cataract before the patient even gets into the operating room.
Very interesting. Now, Dr. McCabe, I understand that you have an Alcon Lens X laser. Why did you decide on the Alcon Lens X laser versus one of the other lasers on the market?
Well, we did look at all the different technology that's available today. And what we found was that Alcon, being a large company, was really able to bring this technology first and foremost to all of us to be able to use in a way that enabled us to do every single step of cataract surgery sooner than with any other technology. So we can do all of the different steps, and even some things that are outside of cataract surgery, like making a LASIK flap, which was also approved. So I wanted a platform, and we all did, where there was a wealth of experience already available in the world and in our nation. This is actually the platform that is most commonly placed, and the most procedures have been performed today. So we're able to draw on that wealth of experience and really help to move this technology forward in the future. So we really were looking for something that could grow with the needs of our patient and be able to allow us to customize all the different things we wanted to do for our patient in a way that was more precise and accurate.
Well, Dr. Friedman, can you briefly describe a cataract surgery to us?
Certainly. All of the surgery that we do here at the Eye Associates is done as an outpatient procedure. So patients don't have to go to the hospital, and I think they really appreciate that. The surgery is done under topical anesthesia, which means we use eye drops to numb the eye. There's no general anesthesia. And we give some medicine to help relax the patient so they're in a dreamlike state for the procedure, which typically takes less than 10 minutes in the operating room. And what we're doing is removing the cloudy lens from the eye and replacing that with a clear lens, which we call an implant, to help restore the vision.
So, Dr. Foster, you actually take the cloudy lens out of the eye and replace it with an artificial lens?
We do. The artificial lens is wonderful technology because it enables us to restore vision. And some of our patients are even candidates to get better vision without prescription glasses after the surgery.
Dr. McCabe, I understand that today's cataract surgeon has a complete spectrum of lens implant choices for improving vision and maybe even getting patients out of glasses. Can you please tell me more about the high-tech lifestyle lens implants?
Yes, Jill, there are a wide array of different kinds of lenses that we can offer patients, which is good because patients all have different needs. And so with these different choices, I can target the best vision to be distance, intermediate, and near without glasses, and that near point can actually vary depending on what the needs of the patient are. So it's really exciting that we have so many choices because patients really have a wide variety of needs and we can customize that result for the patient.
And years ago, there was no choice.
Yeah, years ago, there was no choice. You had to wear glasses after cataract surgery unless you were one of the few that didn't have astigmatism.
So, Dr. Friedman, what about a patient with an astigmatism? First of all, what is astigmatism, and can a high-tech lens implant correct this?
Sure. Well, astigmatism is related to the curvature of the cornea. And someone with astigmatism may have more of an irregularity in the curvature of the cornea. So if you think of a cornea that would be perfectly spherical, like a basketball, then that would demonstrate no astigmatism and the vision would be clear. But most corneas are not like that. And they're shaped more like a modified football, causing blurriness of the vision, which is actually distinct than the blurriness of a cataract. Nowadays, we have the ability at the time of surgery to place a customized implant in the eye that helps to eliminate or reduce the amount of astigmatism, or we now have the laser that can also treat the astigmatism. And so by reducing or eliminating the astigmatism, it enhances or improves the clarity of the vision after surgery.
So, Dr. Foster, why would you choose one lens implant over another one for a patient?
Great question, Jill. That's what makes my job fun. We are able to discuss with our patients their goals for vision after surgery. We're able to treat a disease, which is a cataract, and replace that lens and give them much more functionality with their vision. So it's really a customized approach. It's a partnership between myself and the patient to let them know what their options are and help them meet their visual goals.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all.
It's
Not at
not.
all.
You know, that's one of the really fun things, like Dr. Foster was saying, is that we really get to have that conversation, get to know our patients, and think about all the tools that we have available so that we can really, really drill down to what's best for each individual.
So important. Dr. Foster, I think you were telling me the other day about a patient that after cataract surgery felt much safer.
Yeah, it's really interesting that a lot of our patients have very slow, gradually progressive cataracts, and a lot of times you get used to vision that isn't that good, and that comes particularly into play with driving. They've actually done a lot of studies, and one in mind in particular is a study where they looked at patients, a group of patients that did not have cataract surgery, and a similar group of patients that did have cataract surgery. In the surgery group, the risk of motor vehicle accidents went down by 50%, which is an amazing statistic. And if you think about it, as dangerous as the roads are, the best possible vision does translate into reduced accidents, and that's what we're able to provide our patients, which is a great thing.
Well, and I think, Dr. McCabe, you were telling me the other day about a patient that felt much safer and was worried about falls.
Yeah, you know, we all worry about the safety of our loved ones and our parents, and really poor vision can really be one of the things that really impacts that, because poor vision can contribute to falls, the leading cause of death in patients over 65, so very, very important. That's from loss of contrast sensitivity, inability to see small objects, a loss of depth perception even. But there are other aspects that poor vision impacts, like looking at medications. If you can't tell what's in the bottle, or you can't tell, you know, what pill you're taking, or the dose that you're administering if you have to draw up medications, that's another way. It leads to depression in those patients as well. So, you know, we're really, really focused on helping patients to see better, live a better quality of life, and it's one of the main reasons we really emphasize a yearly eye exam, so that if there is poor vision, that patients may not even know that they're experiencing, we're able to help them with that.
Well, Dr. Foster, I actually have a question from Nancy in Sarasota.
Okay.
And she says, how does a patient decide when to have cataract surgery, and who? Is it the patient or is it you?
It's actually a partnership, Jill, and that's really important to know. Basically, we have minimum vision criteria for some insurance companies that do require that minimum vision to approve the surgery. However, the timing is really up to the patient and me as a doctor as far as when to do it. There's really no wrong answer as far as timing. We can definitely make recommendations based on the vision and what I expect as improvement in the vision. But it is definitely a partnership between my patient and myself in determining the best time.
A lot of conversation goes in between you and the patient.
Yep.
Dr. Foster, what if someone has already had cataract surgery? Can they come back and still get a high-tech lifestyle lens implant?
Yeah, we get that question a lot. It's actually a very important decision to select the most appropriate lens for you before cataract surgery. Once that lens goes in, that's a very safe, very quick procedure. That lens gets secured within the eye very quickly, and it's actually much more difficult to go in and remove that lens after the fact. And so we spend a lot of time educating our patients and making sure they feel good about their decision, making the right decision.
So this is a very important decision for the patients to make going into cataract surgery, because they can't go back a week later and say...
That's right. Sometimes patients wonder, can they just upgrade later? You know, maybe they've saved money the next year, and unfortunately, I'd rather have them wait and save their money and get what they really want than commit to something for a lifetime that isn't exactly what they had desired.
Dr. Friedman, what about patients with glaucoma? Can they have cataract surgery?
Certainly. We do a lot of cataract surgery in patients with glaucoma. Nowadays, what's exciting is this new field where there are these newer type of implants and new techniques and new procedures for actually lowering the intraocular pressure at the time of cataract surgery, which allows the patient to hopefully get off of their eye drops, which can be expensive and sometimes cause other problems like allergies for these patients. So,
And they have to remember them. You know, it's like remembering your vitamin.
right.
I don't always do that.
If we can get patients off of eye drops at the time of cataract surgery, I think that's a win-win situation for everybody.
Definitely.
Well, I believe you do some FDA studies
We do.
at the Eye Associates.
Yeah, actually that's one of the areas that I know that we've all been involved in as far as trying to bring new technologies, especially to the area, you know, with either new drugs, new procedures, new implants, even in some of these glaucoma implants as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Dr. Foster, is there an age limit when you're deciding if a patient can have a high-tech lifestyle lens?
No, really we base that decision on the patient's goals, like I mentioned, and also the health of their eye. Some patients at any age are not candidates for certain lenses, but if I have a patient with a healthy eye, no matter the age, if they have the visual goals, then we can match appropriate lifestyle lens for them.
Well, I've got to say, I wish they'd have had these lenses whenever my mother had cataract surgery, because she had Alzheimer's, she was in a nursing home, and it would have saved us thousands of dollars because she forgot where she had her glasses, they were being lost, so it really would have been an investment in her vision.
I know, it really, sometimes those are the most, you know, appreciative and needy patients, really, for the technology.
Yes. Dr. Foster, where do you do your surgery?
We're very fortunate. We have an ambulatory surgery center as part of our office. It's a AAA HC accredited facility, which means we pass very strict patient satisfaction requirements in addition to safety requirements. Our staff is excellent. We try to make the experience as pleasant as possible, and we get very high ratings because of that.
Dr. Freeman, can a cataract grow back?
Well, once a cataract is removed, it's gone for good. When we do cataract with implant surgery, the implant actually sits in a tissue, membranous tissue that we call the capsule. And sometimes that capsule over time will get a little bit cloudy. And at that time, we do a very simple, effective, easy procedure with a laser called a YAG laser. And what the YAG laser does is it creates a little window in that cloudy tissue and helps to restore the vision back to normal again.
Well, Dr. Freeman, now that we've discussed cataracts, cataract surgery, and the different type of lens implants, what is the first step for a patient to do?
Well, we would like patients to call the office and make an appointment for a comprehensive eye examination. You know, sometimes all that's required is a pair of glasses to help improve the vision, and then other times, you know, sometimes something is found medically that the patient didn't realize was going on. So I think anybody over the age of 40 should have a complete eye examination.
Now, Dr. McCabe, this sounds like wonderful technology. What if a patient doesn't have a cataract? Can they have this technology?
Yeah, and in fact, this is a conversation I have more frequently with my patients over the age of 40 who also need reading glasses. Oftentimes they come in for a LASIK consultation hoping to be free from their glasses entirely, and that's not so possible with LASIK because you still have that requirement for readers. But this technology is available. We can do the same thing we do with cataract surgery, only removing the natural lens before it has a visually significant cataract, and using some of the same advanced technology lenses to give that improved range of vision for the long term. So it's really a great investment at that time. And the really wonderful part is they'll never have a cataract.
And is that called a clear lens replacement?
That is called a clear lens replacement surgery. So that kind of distinguishes it from patients who have a visually significant cataract.
Okay. Dr. Foster, do you use the same bladeless laser technology for a clear lens replacement?
We do. The laser is the most precise advanced technology available, and it really enables us to get our best possible visual outcomes. And so I really trust the laser for my clear lens replacement patients. We all do.
Dr. McCabe, why should a patient come to the Eye Associates?
You know, we have an over 30 years reputation for excellence, expertise in the area. All of our doctors are board certified. We have licensed nurses and technicians that are experienced, often with more than a decade of experience doing what they do. I can't tell you how many times I have patients comment on how friendly and welcoming and warm the staff are. So I'm always very, very proud of that. So you'll have a wonderful experience if you come.
It's a family environment.
It is.
Well, you know, and it's also full service. It's eye care, optical, hearing, cosmetic procedures, and even dermatology. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time. Thank you, Dr. Friedman. Thank you, Dr. McCabe. And thank you, Dr. Foster, for helping our audience learn more about cataract surgery and the many high-tech choices available. And thank you, audience, for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you with your questions and suggestions for future shows. Just give us a call at the toll-free 1-866-865-2020 and mention the TV show. Or if you'd like to make an appointment with one of our award-winning doctors, we'd love to see you. Just call the toll-free number on the screen. Our goal is to keep you seeing your best and enjoying your life. So for now, I wish you the best sight for life and so much more. Here's what some of our cataract patients have to say. What was your vision like before cataract surgery?
I had a cloudiness, and then I couldn't pick out features anywhere near as good as I can now.
I didn't realize how bad his eyesight was. I knew driving back and forth to Michigan that I had to watch a lot, but I thought he wasn't paying attention. However, after he had the surgery and we're driving down the street, he says, "Oh, I can really see to drive now." And I was like, "Oh no, all this time we were driving and he couldn't see." So thank you, Dr. Foster. I really appreciate what you did.
One evening I was driving to my girlfriend's and it was dark and there was cars coming towards me and I could not make out where the cars were, where the sidewalk was, where the median was, and that was caused by the cataracts and the halo that I was seeing.
Tell us about the day of your cataract surgery.
I guess within a half an hour it was done. And they give you a list of all the medication you have to, well, drops, antibiotics, etc. And when we left, we went and had breakfast.
I couldn't say enough about the surgery center and how pleasant it was and how everybody is just so helpful to you. once I don't know who it was, but even someone held my hand through the whole surgery. And that's very comforting.
Actually, that evening, he actually called me at home to see how I was doing, which I thought was very, very professional, the thing to do. It makes you feel, you know, like, makes you feel good, actually.
What was your vision like after cataract surgery?
I wanted to be able not to have to wear glasses, and it is so cool to be able to wake up in the morning and see the clock, the hands on the clock on the wall instead of just looking at the clock and trying to figure out, you know, and squinting. Oh my, no more squinting.
Everything is very vivid because I also had astigmatism correction. And that surprised me that things have sharp edges instead of, you know, kind of wobbly edges.
When I went in for the cataract treatment, they also said there was a treatment for my glaucoma. So I had them both done at the same time. And the procedure went real good. They replaced the cataract, took cataract out, put a clear lens in, and then they did the glaucoma by putting a stent in there, and now I don't have to worry about my drops anymore.
Dr. Foster was able to correct my astigmatism using the laser, and that was fascinating.
And so now I have 20/20 vision, and I don't need to wear glasses, which is great.
It's just wonderful. I mean, I can, for the first time, I've driven a car without glasses, and I don't even know, and it was such a weird experience because it's almost like I'm breaking the law.
The day I got this done, I turned on the kitchen light, and where am I? It was so bright and clear, I couldn't believe it.
When you haven't seen for that long, it's just a miracle how well you can see. And then you think, you know, I put this off for all this time, and I could have been seeing like I was when I was 10.
Do you have any advice for patients with cataracts?
Well, one of the things, it's a painless type of operation, and it's noticeably an improvement from what you've experienced previously. And it's like a 2-hour deal of a 5-minute operation. It was really quick, but I really suggest people who have a vision problem would check into it.
I've gone on and on about it so much that my husband, who's in that in-between stage, that he's starting to think maybe it's time to do cataract surgery.
To be able to see the way that I might have been able to see when I was like 30, 20, oh wow. And for me, never having been able to see 20/20, oh my gosh, that's just awesome. Seriously, I would definitely say, you know, do it and you won't be sorry that you did.
Now I can see to drive home.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Friedman from the Eye Associates. Please tune in to ABC 7 Sunday at 10 a.m. as we discuss cataracts and bladeless laser cataract surgery. That's this Sunday morning at 10.
Hello, I'm Dr. Kathleen McCabe from the Eye Associates. Tune in to ABC 7 Sunday at 10 a.m. as we discuss cataracts and bladeless laser cataract surgery. That's this Sunday morning at 10.
Hello, I'm Dr. Brian Foster from the Eye Associates. Tune in to ABC 7 Sunday at 10 a.m. as we discuss cataracts and bladeless laser cataract surgery. That's this Sunday morning at 10.